What's up, YouTube? This is the last of the three-part series on different options on how to carry your everyday carry pistol. This particular video is going to be all about concealed carry options, and we go through multiple different types of holsters that are out there on the market for you guys to conceal carry. We talk about the advantages and disadvantages, and also positionally where your best option is to carry your pistol concealed. So hope you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so now we'll move into more of a true concealed carry option. And basically all three of these options that we have right here are made for the appendix carry position. These are different, obviously. The one I have the CZN right here, this is a nice soft leather appendix carry that's just got a little clip on it. The one I have the 43X in is a Kydex. It's got two clips on it, and it's got this little wing right here that's supposed to keep basically the grip of the pistol tucked close into your body, right, to kind of lower the signature a little bit. The Colt one's the same, just a leather with a clip on it. Before we get into that, let's talk about the appendix carry position. I'm interested to get your opinion on it, Kurt, because it's become really popular lately. I'd say it's probably the most popular way that people are carrying concealed now. And used to, I mean, it wasn't, nobody really thought about that. I mean, you're talking whatever 10 years ago, there really weren't a lot of options that I saw for the appendix carry position. Right. So the one thing that I couldn't get over, man, when I first started carrying that appendix carry, is that I had a pistol pointed at my crotch.
That's the thing. At
all times. Like it really, just mentally, it took a while to get over that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so what's your opinion on that position and that way to carry?
I mean, that's how we carry, you know, so that's how we're taught to carry. For me, it's just a more natural draw stroke as far as being concealed, because obviously at this point now we're introducing clothing that you have to get out of the way.
Yep.
So if you have to get clothing out of the way here, you're having to really contort, especially if you're even back here where you got something real far back. I mean, you have to really try to get that, because you want your free hand obviously to get the stroke, the draw stroke. So you've got to manipulate yourself, and that's just time, right? And depending upon where you are in a situation, say if you're seated in a car and you need to clear that, well, what if this is like you're sitting on your shirt or something like that, or it's caught or something like that, and now you can't get it out of the way. So if you're up front, it's much more accessible in a plethora of situations, right? So that it's just a much more natural draw stroke, because I'm here. Typically, if we're having a conversation, my hands are here, right? Or if you're in an altercation, you can keep here and things look natural.
Yeah.
Right? So if all of a sudden I'm starting to do this, well, now you know something's about to happen, because people can, you know, typically will recognize that. So if I'm here, you would never know, then it's all of a sudden I go for it, and I haven't really had to do much with my body position. Yeah. Right? So that's taking some advantage away from that potential threat, right? Because if a potential threat sees you make that unnatural movement, it becomes very obvious to him, and gives him or her or whoever time to react to that, even if it's just a split second. He knows you're about to introduce something.
So that's huge, man. Yep. That's huge for sure. Now, as far as different options for holsters to carry in this appendix position, I personally have settled on these soft leather versions right here. I don't like wearing underwear, all right? So this against my skin is extremely comfortable. It doesn't really get super hot. It's smooth. It doesn't rub me. The Kydex, man, this stuff, for me, against the skin, especially if you introduce some sweat and stuff, it's just the rigidity of it, and the edges are not the most comfortable thing for me.
Because something like this can conform
Exactly.
a little bit
Yep.
when you sit down or whatever it may be. It's staying the way it is.
Yep.
It's not moving. But then there's trade-offs, right? 'Cause you can see here you got the adjustability.
Mm-hmm.
So you can somewhat, and you know, there's a bunch of these out there, like Tier 1 Concealed has a bunch of great holsters when it comes to like the Kydex, and there's the adjustability of it. So you can move things up or down. You can add, they have like what they call teardrops, so that, you know, it's like a little wedge shape that will push that pistol up close, or they have wings and all this kind of crazy stuff, so you can really customize it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you can have the most comfortable setup possible within a Kydex setup. But something like this, yeah, I mean, it's almost putting on like a second layer of skin, right?
Yeah.
It will conform to you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the main thing that sold me on it, was the comfortability of it. Now, with this appendix style carry, I personally, because it is so easy just to tuck this thing in, I mean, it literally, once you get it down pat, you're in, you're ready to rock and roll, right? So for me, carrying this way every day, when I get into my vehicle, I take this pistol out of my waistband and I set it right there on the glove box, or right there somewhere in the seat where it's accessible if I need it while I'm in the vehicle, all right? Because it is so easy to get on and off. And so when I get to where I'm going and I'm ready to get out and go shopping or go eat or whatever, I can step out of my vehicle and turn facing into my vehicle, grab my pistol and tuck it in, and I'm ready to rock and roll. And even if I'm in a crowded parking lot, nobody saw me do it. It's just a really simple process.
Yep.
So for me, getting in and out of a vehicle, I take this off. Seated, obviously it's not super uncomfortable to sit down with these things in this position, especially if they're adjusted right, in terms of the height. But I think really when you look at it from a tactical angle, also if I'm riding down the road, and you know, there are a lot of altercations that happen on the road at stoplights, you know, because of road rage and stuff. And so for me, if I have that pistol somewhere, it's just sitting right there, man, it's ready to go. If I need it, it's going to be faster for me to just grab that and get it into action than it is for me from a seated position to lean back and draw this thing. And especially some of you guys watching with a big old fat gut, you might not even be able to get your dang pistol out.
There's one thing you're not thinking about is a seatbelt.
Seatbelt, huge, man. That's exactly right.
Where's that seatbelt going across?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. I mean, we actually practice that. You know, getting that seatbelt off so that you can get to your stuff. Because with that seatbelt on, it's going to cause some serious issues that you may not realize, not think to practice.
Yep.
So that's another consideration.
100%. And I know, Kurt, you have the a little magnet mounted in your truck, so where you're able to take it out and put that in a really accessible spot.
So I have a magnet, and I also have a holster. So I have two. So I have one that I can this little SIG right here will just slide in just like a holster.
Okay.
And so I mean I have it set up to where I can literally just reach down and draw that thing without even having to look or think about it. It's just a natural progression.
And so do you do the same thing getting in and out of the vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
Will you take the pistol and
put it right in that little holster, and then as soon as I get out, I mean, I can just take this thing and just slide it in with that little clip.
Yep. And we'll talk about that clip here in a minute. So yeah, man, another thing about this, like Kurt said, because of the position, even if somebody was able to kind of notice that you had this pistol and you were carrying this pistol, obviously this is a very large pistol. Something like this is going to be a lot less signature. But even if somebody was to see this, again, because of the position it is, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get this from me. I can defend this a lot better than some big bulky thing hanging off the side of my hip, right?
That's right.
With no retention. So it's just a really great, natural, safe position to carry once you get over the fact that you have a loaded weapon pointed at your femoral artery.
Trigger discipline.
Yeah.
It's paramount.
100%. Yeah. These things aren't going to go off unless you pull the trigger.
That's right.
Unless you carry a SIG.
Well, you know.
But these Glocks and stuff, they're not going to go off unless you pull the trigger. So it's just a mental thing. So I've just actually started carrying in this position. So we're going to get out, and I'll probably be slow with it because I need to train more with it. But we're going to
same boat.
We're going to do some timing on it. So one of our partners here at 307 Project is Barbell Apparel, and it's getting about that season to start putting your jeans on, man. It's cooling off. Thank goodness. I'm about tired of this Georgia heat. Barbell Apparel makes the most functional pair of jeans that I have ever worn in my life. It's actually how our partnership with Barbell Apparel started. For years and years, I could not find a pair of jeans that were actually functional, that I could wear out on the range, that I could wear out to dinner, that I could wear I could literally wear them in the gym if I wanted to, because they fit good and they have some stretch in them, so they move with your body. All right, they don't bind up. You don't have to wash them 10,000 times before they're actually broken in enough that you can wear them comfortably. All the pairs of jeans that I've had in the past, it's like about the time they got comfortable, they were wore out and they started to get holes in them and look like trash. These come right out of the box, ready to rock and roll. And again, the unique thing about them is just that added stretch that they have, the fit, the athletic cut, the durability. You can work in these things the same way you would work in a pair of your big box store jeans that you've heard of for years and years. And these are going to have the same, if not better, durability. Barbell Apparel stands behind their products. They're awesome people, and you're just not going to find anything better. They come in multiple different cuts, whether you want a more athletic straight leg or you want something like this that's more of a boot cut jean that's going to kind of taper out and flare out at the bottom to go over your boot. You're going to be able to find what you want in the color that you want, and the fit that you want, and I promise you, you are not going to find anything else like it on the market. So you guys go over and check out Barbell Apparel, and specifically, it's cooling off, get you a pair of jeans, man. You're going to be happy. It's important that it's important to us that you guys support the companies that support this show, because that's a big part of you guys and our partners is what makes all of this happen. So check them out, barbellapparel.com. Thank you, Barbell, for being a longtime supporter of us here at 307 Project, and just for being awesome human beings in general. All right, guys, so the last things that we're going to look at are two options that are, I would say, far less traditional, but I think have their time and place, right? So obviously, Kurt has got this little clip on his pistol right there, and then we have the fanny pack option. So I'm going to get Kurt to talk through this clip and how he utilizes it and why he's went this route here in just a minute. But for me, these options right here are really about, in a way, convenience, because certain clothing types, it's really difficult to carry a pistol in these more traditional ways, and especially for guys like us who are constantly in and out of the gym, running, cycling, wearing workout clothes, stuff like that. We don't have a belt on. We have a really kind of loose and flexible waistband, and if that's your lifestyle, man, and that's what you're wearing most of the day, every day, it's going to be better to go with an option like this, where you can actually still have your pistol on you, and it's functional with the clothing that you're wearing because of whatever your lifestyle is. It's going to be better to have your pistol on you, even though there are some disadvantages, especially to this in terms of speed, than to not have your pistol on you at all, man. I mean, look at Kurt's shirt right here. Stay strapped or get clapped, son.
Don't mess with Pooh's honey.
That's what you know what I mean? So talk about this clip, man, because
Sure.
Blake did the same thing to his, and I just think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so this is a SIG P238, and there's this company, I forget who makes it, but this clip, it attaches right behind the grip panel. And you know, a lot of concealed carry comes down to convenience, right? Are you willing to do it on a daily basis in any situation, regardless of your clothing and all that kind of stuff? So like you said, for great example, I went down to Atlanta right after I was at the gym. So I had gym shorts on. Well, the great thing about this is I can just tie those gym shorts just a little tight, no belt, and I can slide this right in and I'm good to go, right? Because when I'm in Atlanta, I'm carrying, right? So it's a super convenient option. I don't have to think about where my holster is or having one, okay? This is it.
Yep.
There's nothing else to it. It's super simple. I can get it, I can put it in, and it's in, and I'm done, right? And there's nothing bulky. It doesn't add. So like these things, they add a little bit of bulk,
Yeah, they
right?
do.
So with a t-shirt and gym shorts on, you would never know I had this on, right? And it's the same draw stroke. There's nothing different about it, okay? So it's about convenience. And then I have my holster in my truck. This slides right in, and the clip slides right over that holster, right? So it's always together.
218. Yeah.
It's never separate.
Pretty good.
So super simple, super convenient, and super compact, right?
I like that a lot, man. The convenience of that is just, I mean, it's you just can't beat it, really. I mean, if you're just talking about in all situations and in all types of clothing and pants and running shorts and whatever, you're just not going to beat it.
Now these are getting popular though.
Yeah,
I got a lot of buddies on on the teams that are carrying those things.
Yeah,
and they got some good looking ones with leather and stuff like that. And the man satchel's making a comeback.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, the fanny pack is a functional thing in terms of not only just carrying your pistol, but carrying your wallet and other things that your pocket knife, whatever else you want to carry. It's going to be obviously way quicker than keeping that stuff in a backpack.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Again, it's right there in that easily accessible position. Now, in terms of profiling, because we've talked about that quite often, I mean, I think there are enough little freaking, what do you call the millennials or whatever, these little freaking dweebs that carry fanny packs. I mean, when I see a guy with a fanny pack, personally, I don't think that guy's got a pistol in that thing.
Not usually where my first thoughts are.
No, it's really not. It's really not. So I hear a lot of people on YouTube talking about, you carry your pistol in a fanny pack. Everybody knows you have a pistol. I'm like, no, you might know I have a pistol because you're trained and you understand that's a way that we might carry a pistol, especially in some sort of athletic clothing. But your general public isn't going to see this and think immediately there's a pistol in there. They're just going to think you got a freaking fanny pack, man.
And that same thing applies to with printing when you're wearing appendix or things like that. Like, I can most likely tell if you've got a pistol somewhere on, inside your waistband belt or something like that. Because I can look for little bitty features, right? But to most people, the majority, and we're talking about the vast majority, they don't have a clue.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. One thing to consider if you are going to carry your pistol in a fanny pack or in a purse or in any sort of bag at all, I do think you need some sort of sleeve that covers the trigger and the trigger well. Because as that thing gets jostled around in there, or even you go to pull it out and you've got other items in there, there's just the potential for you to snag that trigger on something and the pistol go off when you don't want it to go off. So it's just a nice added feature. A lot of fanny packs actually have a loop internally, a loop somewhere in the bottom area of the pocket, and you can actually put a loop, a 550 cord around this trigger guard and attach it to the interior of the fanny pack to where when you pull this thing out, that trigger guard immediately is going to break away and you're going to be clear to get in there and take shots.
And there's plenty of companies that make, like Everly stocks one, and there's a bunch of companies that make fanny packs with ADC in mind. And so they have holsters built into them with quick access. So it'll have something similar to either a Kydex pouch or something in the actual fanny pack, so that you can hit that one zip, you're in and out.
Okay.
Right, so it actually has a holster retention system inside the fanny pack.
That's nice, man.
So that's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So those are some more non-traditional options right there. Again, they're trade-offs, especially to the fanny pack. It's ultimately it's going to be slower, right? Because there are more steps to getting that pistol out. There's kind of more finer movements. You have to be able to have the presence of mind to reach down and grab the zipper loop that you need to grab in order to get the pocket that you need to get open, and then you can start that draw stroke.
So it also comes down to training.
It does. It does. I mean, you rep it enough.
You rep it enough.
I'm gonna say you know, there are people that can probably get that pistol out of that fanny pack in less than 2 seconds.
Oh, easy.
You know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you're gonna be fastest at what you train with.
That's right.
So, you want to practice, or you want to demonstrate just a few shots with your clip from appendix?
All right.
All right, guys. I really hope this video helps some of you guys out. That's the purpose of these videos, is either to entertain you. I hope we do that sometimes. This wasn't an entertainment video, though. This was something to maybe give you a little education, inform you, or make you think, man, about how you're carrying. But really geared toward new gun owners, because one, we want you to get training, and two, we want you to carry your pistol, man. Yep. We want you to be out there and to be able to stop bad people. Because how do you stop a bad guy with a gun? You got to have a gun. That's the only way to stop them, man. And so it's really important. I would say it borders on the line of our duty to carry a firearm, especially in the environment that we live in this day and age, man. So hopefully it made you think. You got any thoughts to wrap it up, Kurt?
No, just, when you're going down this hole, don't be scared to try different things. Ask your friends, see if they've got different types of holsters. Try it all. Something may work better for you. And make sure that you find a system that you're willing to do on a daily basis. Right? It's got to be somewhat convenient for you. There are obviously trade-offs, right? So depending upon where you go, like some people like to carry an extra magazine, and there are concealed carry holsters that have those capabilities. Depending upon where you go, you may want that extra capacity.
Yep.
Right? So play around with everything. There's all types of different options out there. You can see all the different types of sizes, and just find what works for you, something that you're willing to do on a daily basis, because it needs to become part of your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's an everyday carry, so make it every day.
Yep. Yeah, that's extremely important, man. That's extremely important to this, and applicable in my own journey of figuring out how I want to carry,
sure,
out here in my life. That's with right. With my everyday carry. So if you guys got anything out of this, man, share it with somebody, and drop us a comment. If you really enjoyed it, go get you a hat, get you a t-shirt from the website. You guys that support us by purchasing our gear, or by joining us on Patreon, man, you guys are the reason that we're able to keep pumping these videos out, especially this type of content. As you guys know, this isn't the most friendly content out there in terms of how it gets promoted by the different algorithms and stuff. So you guys that watch, your support through just your interaction, through the gear that you buy, and through Patreon, the private platform where we host most of all of our behind the scenes and our special content, that's what keeps this up and running, man. So go follow Kurt at K Factor Concepts. We'll attach a link to his channel in the show notes. You have a zeroing video coming out soon,
yep.
right?
Yep.
That's going to be real good. I'm actually going to watch that.
Yeah.
Because this guy, if you guys don't know, Kurt is a sniper, and again, just a very knowledgeable shooter. This is what he eats, sleeps, and breathes, man. This is his singular focus, and we have a lot to learn from him. So go check him out, and give him some support too. Let him know that you came from the channel. drop him a comment and soak up all the knowledge that he's given you guys for free. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Nuff said.